The following podcast is a DearMedia production.
You look so gorgeous. Did you mean to match your mic flag?
I did not, but honestly, happy coincidence.
I mean, it's Gorgina. Is that a new outfit? We have a lot of questions. Okay, sorry. Welcome back to another episode of Probably a Podcast. This is what happens when I podcast with my real life friends. I genuinely just like forget I'm podcasting and I'm just like on FaceTime. And then I'm like, wait, people are listening to this. We have the most gorgeous, amazing, talented Taylor Strecker here.
Hey girl, hey.
On board. Hey girl, hey.
Hey.
I had a couple people, I had a couple phone calls. That's right. I have friends and family to catch up with. And they were, my mom and my sister-in-law, they were asking what I was doing today. And I was like, oh, I have a podcast. And they're like, oh, who's it with? And, what are you guys going to talk about? And I was like, oh, I'm going to talk to my friend Taylor Strecker. And not only are we friends, but she's such a motherfucking professional. I told you before that Claudia said this about you, right? When I was nervous to podcast with you. And she was like, don't literally worry. She does this every day. And she's like a previous radio host and current. And she if you flop, she won't. So don't worry about it.
I love you so much. First of all, you also could talk to a tree. So the two of us together, it's magical.
It's true when you can get with someone that also can talk to a tree.
I know. And then also with Tay, whenever we go into therapy, she's always like, what are we going to talk about? And I'm like, bitch, it's me. It's me. We will never not have something to you will never not want for conversation if I am in the room. So yes,
that's so true.
I'm here and I'm ready to monologue.
Okay, and hit it. The Hamilton soundtrack. Go.
Wait, how are you, Mama?
Mama, I'm so good. I'm wearing black, which is sometimes a funny color to wear when you're pregnant because you're just from the front. You forget or you just kind of look normal, then you turn to the side and you're like, oh, it's a beach ball inside of me. It's not quite a beach ball yet. I think my app told me the baby was the size of an eggplant. So that's big. That's big. I know it's getting to the point because obviously I have this big stomach, but when I feel little movements, they don't feel like a huge person inside of me. So when I read baby's the size of a Barbie doll or a hiking water bottle, I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure she's that big? That's fucking crazy. That's nuts.
God.
You know what though I was thinking about in regards to you?
Yeah, what?
I miss drinking wine and ripping cigs on fucking New York City streets.
I am here for you when you are ready for that. I'll get the ciggies. I'll get whatever brand you want. I'll get all the wine. I'm fucking ready to go.
Get the credit card. I mean, I don't know though. Is Tay listening to this? Because I did want to talk to you about shopping when your partners are gone.
We can talk about this. Yeah, she's recording it, but I don't know that she'll sit down and actually watch it. She's out of the room, so we can talk about whatever you want. My wife, oh my God, so she was away this weekend on a girls' trip.
Okay,
to the
Where'd
Poconos. To the Poconos.
What's that? Where's the Poconos?
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, it's meh. It's no St. Bart's.
It's no St. Bart's. I'll tell you this. So Tay's best friends from growing up. They went to elementary school together. I mean, they're friends forever. And
such a green flag, by the way, when you have a partner that's had friends for that long, such a green flag.
The thing about me
do you not have any? Yes, I'm that's such a green flag.
So I have one of my best friends from kindergarten. Okay,
that's
but we
fun.
were madly in love, and then we went to Australia together when we were friends, and then I left him and went to private school, and he was very mad at me. He was like, you've abandoned me. So we had a little bit of a falling out, ninth grade, and then also Kate Bosworth moved to town, and he he tortured me with her man. He was like, I have a new friend. I don't need you anymore. We're gonna watch Dawson's Creek together. So anyway, we had a bit of a falling out in high school. Also, to be fair, we were friends first. Our mom became friends. Our moms had a falling out. And so that then affected, I think we would have been able to make it through high school. But when that's happening, and not that my mom was wrong and his was right or vice versa, but it's just when
It's sticky. It's also it just puts a weird air on the friendship because you know, and I'm sure your moms weren't like coming and telling you what the other one. No, but it's just like they're having like an issue, so it's just kind of like, oh.
But like I left and I went to a different school, and then we were kind of like not in a not great place, and then our moms started falling out. It was just like a recipe for disaster.
Too many things happening. Agreed.
So we lost touch, and then he went to Harvard. You know, I mean, I'm a social climber, but first things first, I'm a education social climber. Okay,
right.
So it killed me that my best friend Chris was at Harvard, friends with Kate Bosworth, and we didn't talk anymore.
I mean, his resume socially is just through the roof.
Through the roof. So anyway, but I like it's just such small world stuff because I'd be like in New York and somebody would be like, oh, I went to Harvard, and I was like, oh, do you know Chris?
Do you know?
And they would be like,
do they?
Yes, everyone knew him because he's the fucking best.
Oh, he's the best.
So we rekindled our friendship after I got separated and was then dating Taylor, and then he was dating men. So
oh wow, fantastic.
So and I was like, it's so funny. It's like, of course the two gays found each other and fell in love
in kindergarten and then rekindled. I love that so much. So okay, so
does
this
that
is great.
count, even though we had some time off?
This absolutely counts. It's just a break. You know, you can't be friends. Some people aren't friends with the same people they were friends with in kindergarten because you were fucking friends in kindergarten. I also say that you don't have to hold on to friendships just because you're like, we've been friends since first grade. It's like, well, if you have literally nothing in common and you don't enjoy each other's company anymore, don't plan a girls trip just because we've been friends since first grade. Like, don't do that.
Literally.
So that does count. So she went on a girls trip with her.
Yes. She's green flagged all over the place. I'm like,
You've got green flag energy-ish.
Maybe I got a purple. What happens when you combine green and red?
Well, we could just say you're yellow.
Okay, let's give you
like
yellow.
is it like a stop sign?
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. Right? Like going through lights.
By the way, green and red, I don't know what fucking color that makes. Dookie brown.
Dookie brown.
Do you ever have a Dookie brown flag?
So she went to the Poconos, and I mean, these girls, like, they've been to Puerto Rico. Like, trust me, there's trips where I'm jealous, and I'm like, I'm like, I'm one of the girls.
I can come. Is Poconos the lake? Like camping vibes?
Yeah, it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours from the city. It's like in the mountains. It's it's like
it's giving Tay.
Yeah, it's giving like they went in a rowboat and there was a pond. So I was like, fine. Like
that's what I'm picturing for the word Poconos. What I literally have no idea, but I'm just like picturing the word Poconos. I'm like, yeah, like cabins,
totally crunchy, like thing. Yes. So when she was gone, I was like, well, you left me and you're spending money. I mean, they still rented a house.
So true. And always a good thing to remind yourself that when your spouse is spending money, you can also spend money.
Yeah. Like, and I know like technically we're budgeted together, but I actually, the girl math is that if you're spending, I get to spend the equivalent, if not more. So I had a lot of ground to cover.
You had a lot of work to get done. And you did. If you guys follow Taylor Strecker on Instagram, which is a fantastic follow, unless you want her to link any of her clothes, you will have to wait like 2 weeks before she does it after a trip. But it's worth it. And then, you were posting your packages and I was like, this is so me coded, but like I won't even post it because James, I spend my own money and I will hide packages because I just know he'll be like, are you fucking kidding? But sometimes you can't, right? Like sometimes they're just gonna be seen.
Of course.
And he knows if I have a big trip coming up, like I'm just gonna like go shopping for it because that's my thing. Like I want fabulous outfits on trips, and if I have already worn it, I can maybe possibly work it into something, but you bet your bottom fucking dollar I'm gonna have some new shit going on. So
fuck yes. Well, here's the thing. So psychologically, like, especially because you said you're using your own money, right? So when I was married to husband, same thing. It was like I don't know what your scenario is, but with husband, it was like his money was our money and my money was my money.
Yeah. yeah. I'm like, mortgages due, we have to split this. This is due, we need to split. And then could you actually just pay for all of this stuff? And he's like, yeah, of course. And then I'm like, and then I'll just like shop for myself.
Right. So when husband would like have opinions on my shopping, I was like, but it's literally not coming out of your pocket. Like, be like, thanks Sirius that they give me a job to support this habit. Otherwise, you would be paying for it. You're welcome.
You're welcome that I still have a job, baby.
Exactly. But now with Tay, it's different because like she really now because she works for me full time. I mean, she doesn't work for me. She like runs our company full time.
Yeah, which I was going to ask about that too.
So now our money is our money, legit.
Well, and she just is so much more aware of the ins and outs of it. Like, James isn't like monitoring my ads on DearMedia. He's not looking at my social media. I mean, like I'll tell him like, "Ooh, I made this month" or whatever. Like, but like if he was in there and saw it, I'd be like, "Oh, you know too much."
Knows too much.
Too much.
So anyway,
not knowing too much, I honestly would not care if James knew. But it's just like you're much more on the radar, you know.
Okay, well, remember when me, you, Claudette went out for lunch and we all got drunk?
You know what? How could I forget? There was a very viable chance that I would forget because we were literally blackout. But one thing about me, my brain loves for me to remember anything embarrassing, and I don't black out. I don't lose my memory after drinking copious amounts of alcohol. So I do say who could forget, but like all of us could have possibly forgotten.
Claudia, I think she browned out for sure.
She did.
But you guys bought Birkins.
Yeah. We went to the Real and we fucked shit up.
And I did not, because my wife would have killed me. If I was married to husband when that happened, I would have fucking caved and bought one.
There was a lot of peer pressure going on.
Yeah. But like that, like my fear of her was stronger than my fear of not fitting in.
That's fair enough. Also, like, you know, you don't need a Birkin. I'll tell you what, that you get one and then you do realize you need a few more.
I can imagine.
Okay, I'm going to spit some facts at you guys about cooking with toxins. That's going to really gross you out, but you're going to want to hear this because it's for the best, okay? Tough love. Over a lifetime, a person consumes at least the equivalent of the height of the Eiffel Tower. That's 363 meters in microplastics over a lifetime, okay? The height of the Eiffel Tower. And 97% of Americans have PFASs, toxic chemicals, from nonstick cookware in their blood. That's right, in their blood. 2.5 minutes is all it takes for a nonstick pan to overheat and release those toxins, you guys. It's just, you know, it's too much. It's 2025. We got to stop cooking with toxins, which is why Caraway cookware is amazing. Good looking, clean cooking. You guys know the drill. It really, really has encouraged us to cook more at home, and just how easy it is to cook and wash their cookware. Caraway comes in so many different colors too. They have colors for any, you know, kitchen. Look at my kitchen. It's literally the most bold, dramatic thing ever. And they even have a color for that. We use their green one. We love it. They make organizing your dishes really nice and easy too, because there's nothing worse than a bunch of pots and pans and lids rolling all around. They have these like lid storage situations that are really, really nice. And also, even though the Caraway is non-toxic, it's still non-stick, okay? But it's non-stick without the toxicness that the other things have, you know? And they have a lot more than cookware too. I always get their bundles, like when you buy their like sets, you can save so much more money. But I love their wood cutting boards because we do not cut with plastic in our household. They've got great bakeware for like muffins, and muffins, when they stick, are the worst. In Caraways, they slip right out of the pan without hassle. And of course, they have the food storage sets. So that's going to help keep your food fresher for longer, leading to less food waste. And you can personalize your kitchen. You could do fun add-ons like their high-quality glass lids with a premium non-toxic cooking experience with a view. And they also have organic cotton and sustainable made tea towels we love. So just as a reminder, their iconic cookware comes with, it's a set. So it comes with the saute pan, the fry pan, the Dutch oven, and the saucepan, plus lids for them all. And then that canvas lid holder I was talking about with a magnetic pan rack for storage. It really does make storage a dream. It is the ultimate kitchen setup. It's going to save you money versus buying the items individually. Trust me, buying the set is just worth it. Plus, if you visit carawayhome.com/probably, you can take an additional 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive for my listeners. So visit carawayhome.com/probably or use code probably at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern.
Listen. Okay, so I got...
Speaking of... I
got a fake mini Callie.
I was going to ask you about that because I saw that you were fucking up Canal Street with your mom. I want to hear all about it.
I mean, we really did it. So
can you give a beautiful breakdown of what Canal Street is? I feel like everyone does know what Canal Street is in New York, but like, what if you're listening and you don't know what Canal Street is?
So fair, actually.
Can you give me a breakdown?
I feel like I should start like you know how they have like star tours in LA? Mm-hmm. I should start like a stars tour for like shopping with me on Canal Street. Yes. It's like a ride at Disney. You know what I mean?
Do you know what? I have a friend of mine, Sarah Bell, who has an incredible she like sources vintage bags. If you guys want to check her out, she's on See the Archive, and it's like a real it's a real skill set to understand like which sellers are best and which sellers are legit and have the best stuff. So like a lot of them are from Japan or Tokyo or like a lot of other like Asian countries because they just have the best shit. And then they have a lot of like vintage stuff. Anyways, she'll source the authentic ones and she'll source like the best sellers. So you could do that, but for fake bags.
Loves it. But I mean, will I go to jail though? That's my question.
Oh, we could get you out. We could get you out for sure.
Okay. So so Canal Street has two two pick your own adventures, basically.
Okay. I like those options.
And it's changed over the years. So when I used to go back in the day, I mean, my mom and I, this has been like our mother-daughter bonding for decades.
I went in 7th grade and, by the way, like went into a van as a 7th grader.
Yes.
Like, and the chaperone was literally like, you can't go there. And I was like, bye.
It used to be literally dangerous.
By the way, they do not want you. They want to sell you a bag. Like
100%.
But they will be pissed if you don't buy a bag after going into their van and stuff. But like they are going to open up random doors and walls. And yes, it will be very Taken-esque, but like, honestly, like they're not trying to kidnap you. I feel confident saying that, don't you?
I actually do. Well, so back in the day, it used to be very covert operation. Like Shannon said, like you'd follow somebody to a different street, to another street, to a van sometimes. Get in the van, close your eyes. They drive you. You go like down a hall, down like those opening doors and the sidewalk.
They would move a whole wall out of there. You'd go into a shop that just sold like trinkets, New York trinkets, and then they would take a wall away and you'd be like behind the wall and then they'd close you back into the secret room.
Correct. So
honestly, a slay.
That was amazing. And also, speaking of choose your own adventure, or speaking of Disney, I feel like the Canal Street experience, I think that the sellers are in cahoots with the po-po and that like no one really gives a fuck. I think that they they make it feel dangerous. So like all the suburbanites are like, woo!
Yeah, 100%. Wait, that's such a good point. They should come out with a Netflix documentary about it.
But I will also say that sometimes there are raids and they do take like a millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Well, because at the end of the day, some of this stuff is still like worth money, like in general. It's still merchandise. So like
I know.
It's like,
so I can't quite get a read because like the last time I was there, the guys were like, the po-po are coming, the po-po are coming. And you get like scared, but then they just drive around and it's obvious what everybody has in their tarps. So
right. The cops know.
It's like, it depends on the day. I will say, pre-COVID, it felt legit, like illegal and bad and scary, but exciting.
Yeah.
And now, like post-pandemic, like you drive down the street. I could literally drive down the street in my car and like hold cash out and they would like deliver the bags to me in my car. Like
concierge service.
It's so out in the open. No one gives a fuck anymore.
Do you think COVID has something to do with that or just times are changing and people just care less?
That's such a good question. I actually don't know because sometimes the police will drive by. There are days where you'll go down there and you're like, no one's out. But usually now it's like way more.
You wouldn't get in trouble by the police, right? Just them.
I don't know. I don't think you would, but I always carry my big ass St. Bart's like beach bag with me so I can hide my things.
Contraband,
inside.
Correct.
Just in case. I like to live, I like to live dangerously.
Yeah.
So you can go out and just like I would say it's like Canal and Broadway and it stretches like a couple blocks in either direction, but it doesn't go like, it's just Canal. It goes like maybe 2 blocks and there's guys and they have like cardboard boxes and they have tarps and sometimes it's like all strewn out like pretty like all set up. Sometimes they just have like everything in like cardboard boxes, which is like kind of sad and depressing for the bags, but like it's a combination of that. You walk through and you pick what you want. Okay,
usually they have a pamphlet showing you what items they have and they'll like flash. Do they still do that, like flash you a pamphlet?
That's the elevated version. So you got the guys and it's usually all guys, okay, that are out and it's competitive because like you can see like like a Chanel bag you like, but then another guy has it, and then you can start to pit them against each other, and you can negotiate that way, which I love to do. It's very fun. But then there's women who hang out around there, and they have, like you said, this is like the premium tier of Canal Street shopping.
Right.
And they'll say, what do you want? And you're like, do you have a Hermes Kelly? Do you have a Mini? Do you have Chanel? But you like no specific names and you describe what you want. And they'll pull it up on their thing and they'll say this, you say, yeah. And they say, follow me. So then you follow them.
Have they ever said they had something and they didn't have it, but they just wanted to get you to their shop where they had something else to sell you?
Shockingly, no. They
that's
always
good. They're honest.
come through. But I recently met this guy. His name is JJ.
Okay.
I have his
Allegedly.
number.
You have his number.
His name is for sure not JJ, but
do
that's
you
what we
do you
call each
WhatsApp
other.
him?
Yes, I do. And I love him. And so now it's like a whole elevated experience. But you have to still stand in a trinket store and wait
I'm
for
dead
him.
because it's literally as if you did finally befriend. You know how like to get a real Hermes, you have to like have like an associate, a relationship with an associate
Yes.
at an Hermes sales,
Yes.
whatever. Your person, and girls that like can go in and get whatever they want. Like couldn't be me because it can't be me because I have tried it and it can't be me. They are like, I'll just call my SA, my sales associate at Hermes, and I'll just like get what I want. Like, oh, this you have like an elevated experience now.
Right. So yeah, I have an elevated, not to brag, I have an elevated contact on Canal Street.
Love.
And his shit is legit, but it is like $500 for whatever bag you want.
Oh.
And that's not cheap. Okay, like you can,
No.
like outside on the street, you can be getting things for $60, $80, like easy peasy.
500 is wow. Okay.
But this shit is the good. But he was trying to sell me JJ Goyard bags for $350. I was like, literally suck my dick. Like we're not. I literally refuse.
Let me tell you, real Goyard bags look fake.
No shit. So go
Like-
get the cheap ones outside for $80.
Yeah.
But I said, JJ, your shit's good. It really is top tier. But like, you're literally joking if you think I'm going to give you over $80 for
Don't try to play me, JJ.
Don't, JJ. Yeah, respect me. But like a really good Mini Kelly 25, yeah, with real leather, sure, we'll pay $500. My mom, we just got her the sick gift. I had my real black. It was what is it? It was the Jumbo Classic in black caviar with gold hardware. Like
From husband.
from husband. I had
it's
it on
very
me,
nice.
and we were comparing it to the one JJ had. JJ's were so good, they made mine look fake because mine's like older and worn in.
Dang.
Honestly, I think I'm gonna go get one just because mine
Back up.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Sell yours on the real, and then just have his.
Literally, like I'm like sitting, I'm looking, I'm like, why am I jealous of my mom's new fake one?
Why am I jealous of my mom's fake version of mine? That's hilarious. Do you know what I always wish I would have gotten fake? I as of current, don't have any fake bags. But I always look at this stupid fucking Prada beach bag that I spent $1,200 on.
The straw with
yes.
Yep.
It's literally fucking straw with like printed Prada on it. And I think to myself, this was so and I can justify anything, Taylor. It is my talent personally with shopping. Like I could literally justify fucking anything. Like Claudia's like, you're sick. Like you're sick. Like something is fucking wrong with you, dude. And I'm like, I know I can justify anything. And it's like that one I stare at. I use it every time I go to the beach because of course I need to justify it. I stare at that shit and I go, you cannot fucking tell me that DHgate or anywhere like would not sell the exact, this shit looks fake. This is a real Prada bag that I spent $1,200 on and it looks like a fake straw Prada bag.
Literally, this, okay, so I will say this, half my shit's real and half my shit's fake. I like to keep everybody on their fucking toes.
Ooh, keep them on their
never
toes.
know. You never know. But I will say this. So I started off with only real when I was married to husband. So like he would get me like real Chanel bags, real Louboutins, and I started to get like really into Goyard. So I got myself, actually he got me like a white Goyard bag and then I got myself a gray one. And I was like obsessed. I wore them all the time, whatever.
Yeah.
And one summer, I'm busting around the city. It's, super hot. And I start to notice that all of my cute outfits are getting this weird white paint streak on the shoulder. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, is there like, am I rubbing up against our wall or something? Is there like some paint? Anyway, couldn't figure out what it was. One day I'm running around, I'm like running errands and I go to open my bag to pay for something and it goes like this. It was fucking melted. This is real Goyard. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Because I guess it's painted leather.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is insane. So not only does this bag suck and it costs $1,800, it's fucking ruining all my clothes. I was livid. So then I go on like to the Googles and apparently this is like a very common thing. And I'm like, this is some bullshit.
Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy.
So then I'm like, and guess what doesn't do it? The fakes.
The fake one.
The
Really?
fakes. And they look so real. And then over the pandemic, I got myself the Bottega like burrito clutch thing. Yes. And I got it in like metallic gold because she loves gold. I consider it a neutral. And I'd say a year into having it, I was like, this looks like shit. And one of my friends was like, I'm embarrassed for you. This girl, one of my fancy friends, she was like, they should be embarrassed that this is their actual product. Like, you need to go back and demand a new bag. So I went back and I was like, this bag's an embarrassment. And she was like, listen, you've only had it for like a year. So like, we kind of have like a warranty situation. And she's like, unfortunately, we don't carry this bag anymore.
No shit, you don't carry that bag anymore because it's falling apart.
So she was like, well, and I was like, honestly, I'm kicking myself because I got like the floor model because I liked the way it was broken in.
Right.
And they advised me to not do that. And they promised me it would break in, but I didn't believe them. And she was like, yeah, that's probably why it's so bad. It must have been handled so much. So she was like, you can pick out anything in the store you want for the same price or less. And I was like,
well, that's really nice. And you know what? Not everyone does do that.
I know, but I'm like,
you didn't like that answer.
But I don't want anything. I want this.
You don't want your shit that's falling apart either.
Exactly. So anyway, so she was like, here's the name of the guy that we use to fix our stuff. Hopefully he can fix it for you. And if he cannot, come back to me and I will, whatever.
Okay,
so
this lady does seem nice.
But I never followed through because I'm me. And then I was like, fuck it, this bag sucks. And so then I found the exact same bag on like a Real website.
Love.
And I bought it, and guess what? It did it again! And I'm done. This is why I feel confidently like I can be a twat about the fakes because like even my Chanel bag looks like shit right now.
Yeah, I mean, I have bags that I've worn. That's why I've really gotten into vintage stuff because I feel less bad about like yanking it around. And I'll still buy a new bag. I still buy, you know, the Birkin because I know that I'll take care of it and like treat it like it's the Birkin. But like there are really cool Fendi bags that are 25 years old that I bought off vintage sites that have been authenticated. I'm like, okay, this bitch is already 20 years old. I know it's gonna last, which is nice.
So that I love to do. I got the most gorgeous navy blue pony Gucci bag. It's fucking sick. So shit like that. Like now, that's if I'm gonna buy real, I'm usually gonna go real secondhand.
Yeah. I agree. And by the way, it'll just save thousands. Like me can justify anything. I just bought this really cool Dior leather bag that's vintage and it was, you know, still $1,500, but I was like, this would be $4,500 in the store. So I can justify it.
I think under 2K is actually like you done did it. Like good job.
I agree. This episode of Probably a Podcast is brought to you by Huggies Little Snugglers. Huggies is the only leading brand with all-around blowout protection for sizes 1 and 2. Now, all my parents out there, I know you can hear me out of breath. That's because I'm real pregnant and I'm about to have a baby and I know I'm going to lean on Huggies. But all the parents out there, they know there's nothing worse than a blowout, okay? I got 3 goddaughters. I be changing diapers. I know how this goes. And here's the thing about a blowout. It's always going to happen when you're not home. Okay, because that would be too easy. You're going to be on the road. You're going to be on an airplane. You're going to be at the mall. You're going to be somewhere where you do not want that blowout to happen, but nevertheless, you cannot help it, okay? So you shouldn't have to live your life worrying about how you deal with the next inevitable blowout. Ease that blowout anxiety by switching to Huggies Little Snugglers. Now, Huggies Little Snugglers, like I said, sizes 1 and 2, but they are 100% leak-proof with blowout protection in the front and back. That's important because we know they do not discriminate, the front and the back, on sizes 1 and 2, so you can feel confident relying on them for your little ones. Huggies Little Snugglers, now with blowout protection in every direction. Sizes 1 to 2, Huggies, we got you, baby. Okay, I have to ask you, we would be remiss to not speak to the celebrity superstar of the villa. Tell me everything. Okay, so I knew that Taylor, not me being like, Taylor's like a real friend. So, you know, she was telling me about this. When was it? When we were in town for DearMedia IRL?
Yep, you were here for DearMedia IRL. It was me, you, and Tay. We all went out to dinner, and that's when we told you. We were like, oh, so we have something to tell you. Because we were like,
already filmed.
We had already filmed. God, so when were you here? That must have been
November.
I feel like it was hot. Don't you remember? It was like really hot.
I feel like it was cold.
You had on this gorgeous jacket that had like all of the
the teams on it.
Yes. So
I
maybe
thought it was
like,
cold.
let's say it was
Fall.
like October-ish,
Fall.
right?
Yeah.
We did DearMedia IRL.
That's what it was. So whenever that was. Okay, so
we had filmed at the end of August. So yeah, it was only like a couple months new when we told you. And this for everyone is the Vanderpump Rules spinoff, The Villa. Yes, Vanderpump Villa. It's on Hulu. It's in its 2nd season. And so we are season 2, episode 7. And we got to be guests at the villa. So Stassi worked. It was like Lisa is the boss, but Stassi was like mini boss to Lisa.
Yes. And by the way, Stassi and Taylor are real life best friends.
Yes.
So this is why it wasn't like she was casted on the TV show as like cast member. Her and Stassi are actually real friends. So they went to the villa to vacation and film together.
So Stassi was there the entire time. So she's in every single episode here and there. It's like really about the staff. Do you ever watch Below Deck?
Yeah. Oh, are you joking? I fucking love Below Deck.
So this is Below Deck, but like in like a French chateau season 1 and like in a castle in Italy season 2.
How do I go?
Right. So, and who knows? I mean, I wonder what it will be for season 3. You never know. But so Stas was there the whole time. And so like different groups came through. And one of the groups that came through right before us were some of the Mormon wives from the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Yes. It was Jessie, Demi, Jen, Layla, and Michaela. And I think that was it.
Fun.
And we were told by the staff that we came in, they were like, these girls like are Mormon and they don't drink, but they like fuck shit up. And we were like, what?
In what regard? Like
just drama and like wild and the dancing and the partying. So
how do you do all that sober?
I don't know. You know, it's like I respect.
Yeah. No, respect. I mean, respect, but also.
What, like, are you okay?
Are you all right?
So the show season 1 had not even aired yet of the Mormon Wives. I think it aired like the following September. So we didn't
no way.
So when
you just thought they were just like Mormon girls.
Yeah. I didn't.
Oh my God. You didn't know. You're like, oh, they're fucking each other's husbands.
Literally. So then the season comes out and Tay and I are watching it like, oh my God, I cannot wait to see their episode or episodes because like this is going to be insane.
Right.
So I will say, I think that they were hands down one of the wildest groups to come through. However, because I watched the whole season, there was a lot of other like crazy groups that came through. So in like comparison, our group was actually relatively normal.
Which is hilarious.
And also Stassi was like, it was a different vibe because like, the staff could interact with all the other groups, but they were just like in and then they would leave and then they were like, bye. Whereas like with Stassi was like a fellow family member, you know, like she worked with them and she was like, they kind of like reported to her. So they like, I felt like we came in and we like immediately got treated just like incredible. And like, we were like a part of the family right away.
I see.
So that was fun. Stassi and Bo did get into a fight, which you see on the episode.
I've seen.
And it was, I will say this, the fight felt even bigger when we were there than it did feel on the show. Yes. And that's the crazy thing about being, I mean, you know, you were on reality television. It's wild. I think that sometimes things that happen. So we, of course, like it was like the biggest deal, right? We were like, oh my God, there was a fight. Stassi took her microphone off. Like I was like,
she ripped her mic off.
This is the biggest thing to happen in my entire life. And then we told one of our friends who is like in the biz and has like worked in production about the fight. And so then when she saw it, she was like, y'all, this is like a fucking nothing burger. And I was like, I know we look so ridiculous. And she was like, no, she said, this happens sometimes. She's like, sometimes there'll be an enormous scene, enormous fight, enormous blowout. And when it, for whatever reason, when it airs, it just kind of feels like very little, whereas something nothing burger feels huge when it airs.
I was going to say it's opposite is what I always see happening whenever we were on, where like a thing that wasn't that big of a deal, I'm like, they made that a big deal? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, that wasn't even a big deal. No one even cared that much, but they pulled a face from when you're mad about something else and they put it in its place, or they did a dub over voiceover when your head's turned, whatever. Right. But like, it is a lot more rare to think that something was so much bigger and so much crazier and then it just wasn't. You know, I felt that way on our season whenever I was like tight roping and I like wanted to die and I was like bawling, crying, and they kind of chopped it down because it probably was just a boring scene of just someone that's really very afraid of heights. And I remember being like, I'm going to be so mortified when that scene comes out. And then the scene was just kind of more funny than bad. It was just me going, fuck. And it was like, it was like not that, it was not so bad, you know?
Right.
But in the moment I was like, this is going to be mortifying whenever I see it back.
It really is a mind fuck. Like it was the first time I was ever in a position where I was like, oh my God, like what if they take this thing that I said and they make me like look like a bitch about it? Like I got super sassy over rooms, which I know not to do that. But
you are who you are and I am who I am, and I would probably get sassy about rooms as well.
Well, they put me and Tay in, it was a mistake, but they put us in a room with twin beds and I was like, this room is homophobic. ends up on the cutting room floor just because there's just simply not enough time for it.
Did that not make it?
No.
That's hilarious.
I know, but
they're probably like, we really can't look homophobic.
I mean, I just literally looked like I was a total brat having a meltdown. Like
Which makes for good TV. I'm shocked that
I was like, oh God, please, I hope it doesn't air. And I was like, what did I like? I know better. But with the Stassi and Bo fight, yeah, they had a fight, but then me and Tay started fighting.
You told me about this beforehand.
Over their fight because this is always how it goes down. And not to say that Stassi and Bo fight a ton, but like we're best friends. Like Stassi and Bo see me and Tay fight, we see them fight. And like we always like help each other out in those fights. We like to all like group therapize each other.
Yeah, and that's what best friends do, right?
Exactly. So it's so funny because we always say that Taze has a lot of Bo sensibilities, and obviously Stassi and I are more similar.
Yeah.
So like I tend to like take Stassi's side and Tay tends to take Bo's side. But I like to say that like we can see the full picture, you know?
Right.
So no one ever takes my side when Tay and I are fighting.
Who's taking our side? No, obviously I live next door to Taylor and her husband Mike, who are like my best friends. And so to James's great disdain, like anytime we have even a tiny tiff, I'm like, so this is what happened. And like, I'm not going to stop talking about it if Mike's there. I'm not going to be like, Mike, you can't hear this. Like Mike gives good intel, but he usually always fucking sides with James. He's like, I see his point. I'm like, shut up. Nobody fucking asked you.
That's just how it goes. But so I think that's why we felt like the fight was even bigger too, because it was like Tay and I were fighting, and then like Rob was yelling, like not yelling, but like Rob was kind of like coming at Georgia, Bo's sister. And then Tay was like, Rob, don't. And Tay and Rob are really, but she was like, Rob, that's not Georgia's fault. Like Stassi and Bo are fighting over what they're fighting over, but like Georgia has no skin in the game. But then Georgie, Stassi's sister, was like, yeah, but well, Georgia, it was like we're like a family. So everybody, and Georgia was like, I don't know what's going on. So, but you know, I mean, it ended up being like, honestly, it was also though kind of epic to be filming a reality TV show and having Stassi have a birthday meltdown. I'm like the fan in me that was not lost on me.
It's
you know?
So true. The Dark Passenger. You're like, I don't want to see the Dark Passenger from a friend standpoint, but like from a fan standpoint, I'd love to see the Dark Passenger come out on a birthday. That would just be really, really great.
It's kind of amazing. I mean, the last time I was around for her birthday and they were filming, it was, do you remember when her and Ariana had like the Snow Princess
joint
birthday party?
But of course.
And then Bo, you dick punched me in the heart. Kind of so I was there for that, but I missed the whole fight. I was eating Taco Bell with Katie Maloney and Schwartz. I missed the whole thing. So, but I saw the aftermath of it. And
right.
So anyway, but I didn't have a front row seat to that one. So this one was that one included lots of like she was like rage texting and calling him. Alone in her room like a freak. So
see, that's a bit of me. You know what? I see myself in Stassi in the best and worst ways. I've never met her. I mean,
God, you have to meet her. That's so crazy. You would die for her.
I know, like 4 degrees of separation. I feel like I know so many people that know her and I'm always around, but also like I'm just such a fan. So like I'm like,
well, you know what's so funny is that she's a fan of you because she's a huge toaster. So she's like, you have to tell me about Shannon because like Claudia and Jackie are so obsessed and like I need to know. And I'm like,
when I tell you, this is extremely rude that you've never told me this before.
Sorry, I forget things. I'm old.
Like. That is something I'd really like to know.
I'm literally so sorry. So it just, the last time she was here in New York, she was just here for press for Villa, was like maybe 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And it came up when we were at lunch at Amaranth. She was like, wait, tell me everything about Shannon 4 because I know that you're friends with her. And I know that you like when like bought Birkins. And I was like, she's the best. She's like, yeah, because like Claudia and Jackie are obsessed. And like, I need to like, so we need to facilitate.
We'll facilitate it. And also, I'm just not the girl. I'm not going to be like a weird fan, but I'm not the girl that will ever be like, oh yeah, so nice to meet you. You're friends with Taylor. I'll be like, I'm such a huge fan. Like, love your work. Isn't it like so much nicer when people just like lay their guns down and they're like, love your work. Such a huge fan.
It's the best.
Okay, it is finally that time of year. The weather is warming up. Okay, I'm finding myself more inclined to swap my hot coffee for something a little bit cooler, because holding a warm mug when it's just like blisteringly hot in Tennessee, it's just not the vibe. So I need that chilled glass in my hand also. By the way, if you guys remember and you recall, if you guys care about me, in my first trimester, I had a huge aversion to coffee, but the only thing I could drink was cold brew. I don't know, there was something about it that was just refreshing enough that I could stomach the coffee.
And so I really, really leaned on cold brew for that time of my life. And thanks to Trade, making cold brew at home is actually easy. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. And I used to think it was really difficult. I'd be like, I can only go somewhere and pay like $8 for a cup of this. But no, you just scoop the coffee, fill with water, and then chill it overnight. And the result is that cold brew that's as good as a fancy cafe coffee. Listen, I'm about to have a baby, okay? We have to save our money where we can without the fancy price tag. And it's exactly how I like it. So cheers to that. Now, Trade is the #1 coffee destination in the US for both hot and cold coffee drinkers. They've teamed up with 15 expert roasters to source the best beans from all across the US, and they curate an exclusive cold brew collection. So this is like beans that are specifically made for cold brew, all right? They are the taste that will not only be insanely delicious, but also consistently great. And I didn't realize that. I thought you could just like use whatever beans, and of course, sure you can, whatever you fancy, but like to know that these beans were specifically made for cold brew, like it's a game changer. You can taste the difference. And Trade also provides expertly curated equipment that's really easy to use. So you can cold brew cold coffee at home that is better in flavor and value than what you could get like from your local cafe. So since every bag is roasted to order, you're going to taste, smell that difference from your very first cup. Like whenever we got the bag in the mail and I smelled it, I was like, okay, yeah, these beans are different. And I'm just like kind of a snob, I'm not going to lie. I really, really love their cold brew kit. I just feel like specifically it made the whole process really easy. It just tasted so fresh. So for a limited time, Trade is giving away a free Harrio cold brewer when you sign up for a cold brew subscription when you go to drinktrade.com/probably. That's drinktrade.com/probably to get your free cold brew maker with select cold brew subscriptions. That's drinktrade.com/probably.
Okay, also I want to hear about how you just boss bitched your way through the entire Sports Illustrated media moment.
Girl.
Was that so much fun?
That was so much fun. So I was really nervous because I got like linked up to do it without really like, so it was really facilitated through DearMedia
Right.
and their work with Sports Illustrated.
How
So,
cool.
I know. So it wasn't like I was like, oh, I'm doing an interview with Brooke Snyder. Like, let's do it live at this event. It was like the event existed
You
in
are such a good interviewer. Like you are such a good pawn to have in someone's pocket. That sounds like a mean way to put it, but like you,
No,
what a
I take
good
it as-
a team player. You are such a good iconic member of the team to have to just be able to
you.
whip you out. Like, oh, we need someone to professionally interview professional like celebrities. Yeah, Taylor Strecker here. Like she'll do it. She'll do it fine. Like 100%.
Thank you. I received that. So, I definitely like, listen, I've put the goddamn time in. It's almost been, I age myself when I say this. I've almost been doing this for 20 years.
That's crazy.
I started right out of college in 2006.
Yeah. So you were just a baby. That doesn't age you. You were just a baby. You started
No.
young.
But like, I guess like, what do they say? Like 10,000 hours of something makes you an expert. So I don't know what that
Ooh.
makes me. What makes me
Fucking expertise.
expertantita. So, but like, I always get a little bit nervous. And also historically, no offense, but all the offense to models, they don't make the best interviews. Oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
but
So I was nervous.
I've heard Brooke Snyder's like actually a very entertaining person.
So I was nervous because like I used to interview like all the Victoria's Secret angels like back in the day when I was at Sirius. And I would be like, what do you do to get ready for the runway? And they were like, what? These answers I will never forget. So I don't even remember who the models were, but they were like big models. And it was 2 of them that were in. And I remember they like panicked because they were like, it was like when like body positivity was like
I was just
thing.
about to say those poor Victoria's Secret models are so scared of getting canceled or saying the wrong thing at that
Totally.
time that there was an era where they were like, what do I do? What do I do? It's like
they had to like
I don't know what to say.
This was like during a time where like
I journal.
literally this was a
I
time
hype up the other girls.
where they were like, if your BMI wasn't X, Y, or Z, you couldn't walk a runway. Like honestly, not fair times for models. You know what I mean?
100%, 100%.
Like they were like, if you're not a healthy BMI, you can't walk. And it was like, oh, what
Right.
hypocritical bullshit. So they were setting these poor girls up for failure. But I remember
Well,
they
also
came in,
BMI has come out as like a just like not real thing. Like none of it
Literally.
makes sense. Like people people that look like totally healthy, totally normal, and are healthy and normal will be like, according to my BMI, I am morbidly obese. Like that's fucking
Literally.
crazy.
So I remember, but I had to ask them because I was like, so what do you do to prepare? And they were like, oh my God, we eat so much.
Burgers, fries, nothing
And
unhealthy.
I
We
said,
love.
oh, what do you eat? And one girl goes like this, hand to God swear, dessert is awesome, girl. That's not somebody who eats dessert. Dessert is awesome.
Dessert is awesome. Someone's behind her. Someone PR team's behind her. Dessert is awesome. I love dessert. Dessert is so good. Sugar is in dessert and I eat it all the time. I swear.
And then the other girl goes like this. I eat cheeseburgers and burgers. I'm like, lie. You eat one or the other.
You wouldn't say both. No, it's so true.
So these poor girls. Anyway, so I was traumatized. So I'm like, oh God, great. Is this going to be the same thing? And the second I started doing research for Brooks, I was like, oh, Brooks is a special one. She is personality plus. She has a friggin' reality TV show with her sisters coming out on Hulu.
Yeah, and one thing I love about her is she's not afraid to just say whatever the fuck she wants, whether it's for good content, good TV, or maybe she just really does live her life like I don't give a fuck. I'll air out all my dirty
queen. She is.
I love that. And I think it was Remy Bader. Remy Bader posted this like picture of her, just like a casual like Instagram photo she took of Brooks Nader like in the club. And I literally like held my little thumb on it and stared at that and was like, I was like, what the fuck would it be like to be that hot? Like, I actually cannot, like, there's no fucking way, like, I would do such evil things. Like, God knew. He knew. He was like, we can make her pretty, but we can't go off the fucking charts here, okay? Because she will use it for evil.
I don't believe that for a second. You are so hot and you are such an angel.
No, but like, and I really appreciate that. I'm not fishing for compliments. This picture of Brooks in her like deep V cut, like light blue dress. I was like,
insane looking.
I've just never seen someone hotter. It was really crazy. Wow.
But I will say, so I was asking her about like how does she prepare for photo shoots? And she gave a very honest answer. She was like, there's been years where I like got lymphatic drainage and like wasn't drinking water because like if you basically you hydrate and then right before the photo shoot you dehydrate. So she said, so like you don't drink water the morning of, and you actually, she said somebody gave her a tip that like you have a glass of wine the second you're on set because it relaxes you and also it further dehydrates you.
Right. So I used to jokingly say that when people would be like, how do you get so snatched? I'm like, I think I'm just like dehydrated at all times.
I hate water and I love alcohol. So I would honestly be great at photo shoot because that's how I live my life.
I love that she was just straight up about that. So she said she doesn't do that anymore though?
So she said that this time around, she didn't do any of that because she's just been so busy and it was the best she's ever felt without doing anything. So
nice.
She was so honest and awesome. I loved her. But she did also say that, you know, like there's been years where like she tried so hard and like, you know, she would look in the mirror and she would hyper criticize herself. And it was just, like, it was like, oh, so even people as hot as you, stars, they're just like us, still have their insecurities. She was just she was awesome. She was funny. She was honest. Like she had the audience roaring. She was amazing.
Oh, good. I love that. I also
her.
like not me being friends with all the hot people, but I'm friends with a couple of the people that are on the Sports Illustrated, like Katie Austin and Jenna Sims. And so like I follow it so closely when they're all just out here like popping their pussies and like just looking so good.
It was like model safari zoo. It was crazy.
No, so cool.
It was really so cool. So, but
and you looked fabulous too.
Thank you. You know, I didn't get the memo that there was like an actual like theme for the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Social Club. Like it was
what was
like,
the theme?
I forget again, but it was like something like, you know, like beach babe, hot,
right,
booty
something
ladies. But I was just like, listen, I am hosting, like, and it's a panel. So
no, you could look like the host. There's nothing wrong with looking at like the hot host, which you did.
Thank you very much. But like, I really do have like such cutie pie things that I really could have. I mean, I've been shopping quite a bit, so I really could have pulled something out. But
God knows,
it wasn't the perfect outfit for the event, but I was happy with my outfit. Do you know what
I loved it, and you looked like a professional. But also really hot. Like you looked like you were meant to be in the place you were at, and you weren't like, I'm trying to be like that would be me if I was like asked to interview them. I'd be like trying to like look like the Sports Illustrated model, and they'd be like, just stop doing that. Like
I ran into Caitlin Bristow backstage, and like she like had been there all day. She had like, and I saw when she was posting after the effect, it was like, oh fuck, man! Like she had like outfit changes. She was nailing it. She was like in the photo booth with the models. I was like, I fucking.
Fucking shit fucked her.
I didn't fucking do it.
Her outfits were really good.
Her outfits were great.
What are your summer plans? Are you going back to St. Bart's, you bitch little cunt? You fucking little shit fuck cunt.
I don't know when we will justifiably be able to go back to St. Bart's. I think that
Your parents go with you all the time. That's so nice that you like that your family loves to go as much as y'all do.
they do. But like the funny thing is, so like the first year we went was with Claudia and Ben, right? Well, we went with us and then Claudia and Ben joined. Then my parents were like, we're jealous. We want to go. So we went and Claudia and Ben didn't come because, Claudette is making a baby and it's a really expensive trip. You want to make sure you can go and do exactly what you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but Claudia was like, excuse me, we're going back again. Okay, just so you know.
100%.
But then my parents were like, wait, but we're going to come too. And I was like, well, the funny thing is you're not invited. So I don't know. We'll
sorry. No, I need a plan because I had to cancel a lot of like random travel trips and I was supposed to be in Barbados this weekend for, don't get me started.
What?
For the baby moon. And we had to redirect, everything's fine. I'm fine. The baby's fine. But we had to just redirect a lot of things. And I was very fortunate that James was still like, we're still going to have a baby moon. We're still going to do something. So we're going to 30A, which like is a gorgeous glam place in Florida. It's the Gulf Shores, but like the bougie little part. It's like they filmed the Truman Show there. It's white sands, gorgeous sunsets. Like it's very nice. I'm very excited. But like I will say, and I need to say this on my social media because I have been planning and whatever, champagne problems. I fucking know, guys. I know this. But like the outfits that I was planning for Barbados were so iconic. I was like sourcing vintage things. I was like, this baby moon, these fucking fits. And once you have something in your mind, like once you know you're going to St. Bart's, once you know you're going to Barbados, there's nothing that can stop your brain like from being excited for those fits. So anyways,
yes,
a lot of the stuff I can't return because it was either vintage or sourced or I just ordered it a month and a half, 2 months ago whenever I knew.
Pregnancy. So there is like, yeah.
I had to write to so many companies because I also didn't go to this black tie wedding. And I was like, they were like, sorry, it's outside of the return window. And I was like, you have to understand. So this is out of my control. And also just super quick, like I bought these 2 sizes bigger to perfectly fit my bump, which they perfectly do. But I don't plan to wear this black tie 2 sizes too big dress again. So like, you have to let me return this gown.
Did
like,
they?
Yes, actually they did because like, I'm not going to lie. I straight up did what has been like done from our ancestors before us. I wrote in those emails, woman to woman. As a woman run company, I would really hope that you guys would understand. And let me tell you, every single one of them wrote back, like, let me see what we can do. We're able to extend. And also, by the way, all of it was true. Like the things I was sending, I had like validating, like accompanying documents, etc. And so I'm like, you guys are going to fucking treat a pregnant woman correctly right now, okay? Y'all are gonna come correct to these returns because I wasn't buying cheap gowns. But anyways,
I can imagine.
I need to say, because like some of the stuff I'm gonna wear at this gorgeous bougie, but then again, like it's still Florida. Let's not get it twisted. I'll be in Florida. If you're thinking to yourself, that doesn't look like you would wear that to 30A, or if you're thinking, where does she think she is? Barbados. She thinks she's in Barbados, okay? And she's not.
Wait, we are in Florida technically, but we're actually mentally, we're in Barbados.
Who does she think she is? She thinks she's a bitch that was going on her baby moon in Barbados. So let me wear this fucking vintage thing, okay?
I will be in those comments supporting.
Please.
I got you.
Guys, now that I'm pregnant, sleep is it's of the essence. It's of the essence that I'm trying to get in where I fit in. I need to sleep. I know you guys all keep telling me to sleep while you can, girl. Like, I know. First of all, you guys know I don't like the just waits of it all, but I am sleeping good. Okay, I'm sleeping good. Don't worry about me. On my Boll and Branch sheets, I have started, you guys are gonna like seriously roll your eyes at me, but I have started traveling with my sheets. I don't care where I'm going. That is how important these sheets are to me. It is truly wrapping me up in a softness that is so extraordinary. My body and my mind, they just effortlessly go to sleep. And now I am such a like picky sheet person. I have to have my Boll and Branch. It's made with the finest 100% organic cotton. Now you're just going to spend every night in the softest feeling, buttery, breathable, softer with every wash fabric. And that's the truth, by the way. They really do get softer with every wash. They're our favorite, no doubt. Even James and I, we like rotate our sheets in and out, and we know when we have the Boll and Branch ones and when we have ones that aren't Boll and Branch. I need to just get rid of them and just go all straight Boll and Branch because they're just that good. You also don't get hot in them because they are so breathable, and I do sleep hot. We put our AC down to like Arctic temperatures, but I still sweat. Okay. And that's just a part of me being me and pregnancy. And I need breathable sheets, which Boll and Branch is. They are. And they have designs and colors for every bedroom style. and mattress size. These are going to be like all season sheets, okay? Because like I said, they're so breathable with that softness, getting softer after every wash. And they also, which let me tell you this, I love this. They are crafted by artisans who earn the pay and respect they deserve. Okay. I love a brand that's doing the right things with the people that are making their products. Boll & Branch, your products are made different, so you can just sleep better at night knowing that people are being paid fair wages that are making them. And you can also try Boll & Branch sheets for an entire month. There's no catch. You can literally wash, style, feel the difference for yourself risk-free. And if you do not get your best night's sleep, you can send them back for a full refund. So feel the difference of an extraordinary night's sleep that Boll & Branch can make. So get 15% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets. Honestly, this ad is making me need to go buy another set of sheets because like I just have to have more Boll & Branch sheets. And it's going to be at bollandbranch.com/probably. That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/probably to save 15% off plus free shipping. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Wait, you and James were, I'm assuming it was Miami, but it had like it was like red and white like umbrellas. Is that the Faena?
Yes, it's the Faena.
Tell me everything, because I saw also Rebecca Hessel-Cohen, who I love. I know Rebecca from back in the day, Cosmo. We worked together at Cosmo Magazine. I was Cosmo Radio. She was like the fashion director, but now she is the head of Love Shack Fancy. So
yes.
She was what looked like at the Faena.
Do you know who also is always there?
Fancy. So I was like, ooh, I want to know about this hotel.
Do you know who's also always there?
What? Who?
Bethany Frankel.
Shut up. Okay, wait. So I feel like this property, like years ago. So Tay and I, like when we really like fell in love, it was in Miami.
Oh, Miami. You guys fell in love in Miami. What a beautiful place to fall in love.
It was at what I think is the Faena. So, but it was a different hotel at the time. I feel like this hotel was something else for a minute. And it was like kind of like a medium level, like boutique hotel. And I feel like the Faenas came in there and fucking, I don't know, ripped walls apart and fucking just, you know, gave it like a what's it called? Not an upgrade, gave it like a facelift.
Let's see, I'm Googling it.
I'm convinced that this is the, but like, I'm like,
I thought
all
it's
the
been
cool
around
people
since
are
the
staying
80s.
here.
I thought it had been around since the 80s, but let's see.
Does it have two pools?
Oh, the Faena Hotel Miami Beach was originally the Saxony Hotel, a historic luxury resort that opened in 1948. Let's see, in 2010, it reopened as the Faena Hotel in 2010.
Oh, so I'm making things up again.
It could have just been another place with those iconic red and white umbrellas, but that is kind of like their signature. Everything is just, you know what? We were huge fans of going to the one in Miami, and I still love the one in Miami. It's fantastic.
Love you
can't go wrong. You know, the one hotels everywhere are great, but there's something about the Faena that's very like, it transports you back to like 1960s Hollywood glam. Like you really do feel like you're in this like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like that movie, like Mad Men when they're in LA, like it's like very much that vibe, and it's just really, really cool. Of course, it's like extremely fucking overpriced and expensive, but I will say they treat you like it. You feel like you're at this like 5-star resort. It's not a ton of rooms. It's not a ton of it's not a ton of places. They have a gorgeous restaurant attached to it that you can go to if you're not staying there. But
I think we'll go.
They really do treat you like concierge service. And like we went one time and then we went back 4 weeks later, and I know I have bright red ass hair, and I also just am Southern and nice to everyone. I will say that I'm extremely nice to everyone. They remembered who I was. Like and I was like, oh, and I'm not acting like,
but you're you.
No, but that doesn't, I'm me, and I also go to same hotels all the time, and people don't remember who I am. Like I was like, this must be something they like train these motherfuckers to do. You know what I bet they do? This is the kind of place that if they saw that someone was a recurring guest within like the year, I bet they like print out a picture of them and say like, this guest has come here before, make sure you address her as such, or like make sure you say welcome back or something. I could see that like they must go the extra mile, because I'm really not fishing for compliments. Like I don't think they would have just like remembered me, and they were like, hello, and I was like, oh my god, that's so nice. It's like at the Peninsula, they embroider your pillow with your initials or your name. Really? And then when you come back, they like have it for you still. So they have like some sort of a system, concierge system. Very nice. That was a long time ago. That's bougie. That was my previous life. I don't stay there anymore. No, that's not. Where's the peninsula in Florida? Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills, darling. It's also where all of the
sex workers allegedly go to pick up clients. You go, Glen Coco.
You go and Coco. There's also there were many sex workers at the bar at the Fayana, and by many, I just mean I saw like 2 or 3, but many. I mean, like you knew, when you were there, you were like, oh, okay. Pop off, queen.
Get on
like
with
get,
your bad self.
get that bag literally. Like go for it. Yeah, but you could tell, and I mean, like honestly, like why not? Like if I was gonna be in that line of work, I would want to be at the nicest hotel.
too.
So like, take me to the Fayana,
high
bitch.
class as fuck. Yeah.
Take me to the Fayana, bitch. Amazing. Okay, so any other southern plans, summer plans so far? I'm really sad I missed your spring. When are you going to the Hamptons?
We always go. So, okay.
I love how you're like my previous life. And then you say things like St. Bart's for a third time. And we always, the Hamptons. Well, we always go and like, shut the fuck up.
Fair. So last year we did 4th of July with Hannah Berner and her husband
fun.
Des. And so Hannah announced that this is going to be an annual thing. So we're going to go again this year.
Love.
And then we immediately leave Hannah and we go stay with my sister-in-law and at their Hamptons house for like a week or so, a week and a half. And then we go from there and go directly to my parents, and they're on the coast outside of Boston. And so we just kind of like, we just drive the whole thing. It kind of like breaks up the drive.
Oh, wow. How nice. You know what? James's birthday is on July 5th, and he's never spent a July 4th in America because we're always traveling for his birthday, usually in Europe with his friends and family, etc. And I said to him, I was like, we should do something really fun for 4th of July this year. And I did say, I'm not inviting myself to you and Hannah Berner's house, but I was like, we should do the Hamptons for 4th of July.
Hamptons.
Does that sound fun?
And then I feel like the Austries will also be out in the Hamptons. I feel like this is something that they're doing now religiously.
This could be brewing. Yeah. I did hear that they say on the toast that they're going to be there.
Amazing. Okay.
I don't know about 4th of July, but they said that they would be there for the summer.
I think we should do a redo of what we did last summer.
Oh my God, I agree. Oh,
Except
I
no
wish I
traffic.
could drink.
Except no traffic.
I'll be big as a house. It's okay.
I keep forgetting.
No, it's not for that much longer, but like, yeah, July I'll still be baking.
Bacon.
And you know what? I have this like weird, I don't think you would call it no, it's not imposter syndrome, but I think like whenever I see pregnant people out when I wasn't pregnant, if I saw a pregnant girl in the wild at like, let's say Surf Lodge, I would not be like, what is she doing here?
No.
I would literally be like, pop off, queen. She looks so hot, having fun. Love that. When James and I were in Ibiza, we saw like plenty of or in Cape Town, South Africa, we were somewhere, and there's this like really like very far along pregnant girl, looked hot as fuck, and she was partying with everyone, like listening to music, jamming, and I was like, a soleil. But there's something about like, now that I'm pregnant, I'm like, is everyone looking at me like, why the fuck is she here?
No.
Like if I went to the Hamptons and I was pregnant, whatever, I'd be like, why are you here?
Also, you're talking to a New Yorker, okay? Like all of my friends, because again, from my past life, so I felt like I went through like a whole wave of friends who were like all pregnant. And I was just like, I'm going to get a divorce. I'm not going to get pregnant. But so I feel like I watched so many of my friends back in that time of my life get pregnant. And it was like, my doctor's European. I'm going to have a glass of rosé. I'm going to have
100%.
another. Like, so I'm eating sushi in Nobu. So I feel like
Yeah.
I'm so accustomed to pregnant women just like operating as
living their truth.
regular people. Yes.
I 100% just still eat sushi, and I've talked about this plenty of times, but like I'll go to a sushi restaurant now that I'm like actively showing. People will be like, oh, and also we have several cooked dishes and we have several hibachi options, and I'm like, oh no, I'll be having the crudo, I'll be having the steak tartare. Baby likes that, and I'm eating that. Okay, I'm taking that approach to food.
What do women in Japan eat?
It is what I say every time.
Right.
By the way, your doctor will tell you the reason they say not to eat sushi is literally because of the possibility, a higher chance of having parasites in it.
Yes.
But then they also say if it comes from a dodgy source. It's like, okay, well, I'm not getting gas station sushi. I'm at Nobu in Malibu.
Exactly.
And I'm occasionally at, the Publix sushi stand. But I know they make that shit fresh. I watch them make that shit. Fresh. So like, here's also, by the way, I had the norovirus, which is like the stomach bug on crack cocaine.
Yes.
I had that in my first trimester, which is honestly the scariest trimester to have something like that happen. And I, one, couldn't tell the world that I like was pregnant. And I was so scared. Two, I was in South Africa. So very far away from my OBGYN. And I was like, man, I was so down bad. And I thought like, I know a parasite is different than having like but that norovirus lasted 10 full days of like straight up horror. So I'm like, I will be okay.
You're like,
I
if
will
we
be
can
okay.
get through this, we can get through anything.
If I can be on safari with the norovirus in my first trimester, I can literally rule the world. Like I can do anything.
Literally. Are you like so connected with your womanhood and you're like, I am a miracle and I make miracles for the world?
No, not yet. I think maybe when I give birth, I do sometimes think like, wow, this is fucking crazy. Like, but right now, like when she moves and stuff, I'm like, oh, that's crazy. She's inside of me. I haven't been as obsessive with the apps. I think like Taylor's like, how are you not watching all the videos and stuff that are like, on this day, and I'll occasionally like read the app that'll be like, today your baby's taste buds are forming, or like today your baby's red blood cells are forming, making her able to blah blah blah. And I'm like, what the fuck? But I'm more so like, wow, she's so cool. Like in my head, I'm not like I'm building
She's
this
so
thing.
cool. She's
I'm like,
so
cool.
badass.
She's like building her red blood cells right now.
It.
Yeah, you're right. I should be like, I'm so cool.
But
I'm like, what a cool girl.
Recently, somebody said I loved being pregnant. I felt like I was productive. I think it was a TV show, and I actually think it was Girls. I was rewatching Girls, but whatever. Like women write the script.
Yeah.
But Hannah's mom says to her when Hannah gets pregnant, she's like, she said, "Oh, I loved being pregnant. I felt like I was being productive every single day, even if I did nothing, because I was like making this."
That's
human.
such
And I was
a
like,
nice
that's
way
such
to
a
look
cool
at
way
it.
of looking at it. Yeah.
I do now that I'm starting to get towards the tired phase. I have a lot of energy. I feel really great right now. Knock on all the wood. Like second trimester has been very good to me, but every once in a while I'll just like, Lauren Bostic said it on her pregnancy podcast, and I love it. I keep quoting it and kind of like using it as my own, but I'm like 7:30, the show's over. Like the curtain is closed. Like I'm not in bed at 7:30, but after like at around 7:30, it just hits me like, I could just really fall asleep at 9 or 9:30, and then I do. And then I'm like, oh, I wish I could like do something else or want to go to this late dinner. And then I'm like, why? Why do I want to do that? I'm literally building a human. Like I'm doing something. It's fine. So I'm trying to like give myself grace for being just like tired, and know that like I know that people behind that are like, just wait, you're going to be even more tired. I'm like, no, I know. But I'm like, it's such a foreign feeling for me because I'm like the Energizer bunny who's like literally everyone's like, what drugs are you on? And I'm like, well, I used to be, but like not anymore. But that is my existence. That's how I operate. You're like that. We're like, go, 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 go. So having something that just like stops you from going, you're like, wait, what?
It's kind of like nice though to like,
it's nice.
I don't know, like I feel like I just like live so hard, and I'm so scared to have a baby, but like I'm like, you know what, I guess maybe like it would be good for me. Like I'm kind of sick of myself. Like I think maybe like
it
I
slows
need to
you
like
down
like
in
I
a
need
nice
to like
way.
grow the fuck up, and I'm not gonna do it on my own.
It's not even like grow the fuck up. It just like, it's something that finally forces you to slow down, and you're not like, you don't feel like fuck this thing for making me slow down. You feel it like in a beautiful way. You're like, this is forcing me to slow down. And it's like, if anything else was forcing me to slow down, like a relationship, a job, a situation, a health thing, if anything else was forcing me to slow down, I'd be like, you know what? And fuck this thing for making me have to do less of what I like to do. But because it's like this like baby that you're growing inside of, you're like, and you know what? Sometimes it's nice that I'm just slowing down. Like you do see this like maybe a little ethereal like outlook on it, kind of.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh, anyways. But other than that, it kind of fucking sucks. So I don't want to be a voice for, I don't want to be a voice for pregnancy positivity at all times. Taylor, I love you so much. Thank you for coming on the podcast. You guys, please listen to Taste of Taylor, which is now a daily motherfucking show. That's right.
Indeed it is.
She is clinically insane, and we love her for it. How's that going, by the way?
It's great. It's really, really good. The funny thing is that like it is daily, but for a long time I was doing my daily show behind Patreon. So I came from radio doing daily 4 hours of talk a day. Yeah. And then it went to 3. And then when I got fired from Sirius, I had my own show. And then I made it 2 hours a day, but still and it was like live, people would call in. And then the pandemic, we were pre-recording it, but we still kept 2 hours a day. And so like I've like slowly over these 20 years been like chipping down.
Yeah.
So for me, even doing a daily show, it feels like a vacation from what I was doing before.
And you can do it from home, which is so nice.
I know. So I've never not had a daily show in some capacity, but this is the first time the rebrand brought the daily show outside the paywall for everyone. So
it made it accessible. So you guys heard it here first. You don't even have to pay. This is free premium content. If you guys want to listen to Taylor, she's hilarious. She's funny. She has amazing guests on. And I just love her and I adore her. And I thank you so much for coming on
Love you.
the podcast. I wish we were in New York together. Kiki ended up.
We
But
will soon enough.
I'm going to find a way to invite ourselves to this Hamptons trip. Don't mind me.
I love it. Also, one of my really, really, really good friends, she's like a big sister to me. She like last year moved to Nashville and she is like, get your fucking butt down here, bitch. So I feel like Tay and I have to make a Nashville trip to see her. And then we maybe can see you guys.
Okay, please do. You're on the fucking chopping block now. You have to come.
Done and done.
Done and done. Love you. Bye guys. Thanks so much.